Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is May 2nd, 2025, and the top news for crypto is as follows. We will start today from our states, and we will go to North Carolina, where it's billed to make Bitcoin Reserve and state passes House and moves to Senate for debate. So we are a little bit closer to seeing it approved. Something that came out in the last few hours is that New Hampshire, its own bill for Bitcoin Reserve, passed in Means Committee with 4 votes in favor and 1 vote against, and now it is going for its final vote to be approved or not. So we have 2 states and 3 bills, which is 1 step before the approval, as you can see. Now let's move on to our ETFs. Let's say that for another day, BlackRock's spot Bitcoin ETF had only inflows. On April 30th, it had positive inflows of $267 million. The day did not end with positive inflows and was at negative $56 million on May 1st. We are already at $71 million without knowing what BlackRock has done. And as we talk about our ETFs, we will go to 21 shares, which has applied to the SEC for its own SUI ETF, which will be a spot for America. Let me remind you that 21 shares had issued an ETF for SUI in Europe, and now it is looking for a similar spot for America. And to close with our ETFs, we will go to Canary Capital, which has applied to the SEC for a typical SEI ETF, which, however, includes staking in it. And since I caught my mouth with staking, I want to tell you that there are American crypto companies that are pushing the SEC to give some clarification about staking. Specifically, there is a group which consists of 30 groups, all friendly to crypto, which asks the SEC to provide legal clarity regarding staking in crypto and liquid staking, which we have in the crypto market. They support that these are not investment activities. For those who are interested, these are the groups which consist of exchanges and crypto investment companies, but also of foundation cryptocurrencies such as Avalanche, Solana, Babylon, and so on. Moving now from this nice development, we will go to our companies. We will go to Strategy, which typically this time is looking for $21 billion to buy more Bitcoins. To say that so far the companies which are included in the US stock exchange, taking only these specific, have already bought 96% of all the Bitcoins which have been mining so far in 2025. And I repeat, we are only counting those which are included in the stock exchange. As you understand, there is a great need for Bitcoin and there are not enough. Moving on to our coins, we will go to Move, which from what we have learned has been delisted from Coinbase. We have learned that Coinbase will suspend trading for this cryptocurrency on May 15th, 2025. And for this very reason, its price has dropped by 19% on line 24. From Move, which consists of an Ethereum layer 2, we will go to another Ethereum layer 2 that has just launched. Specifically, there is a group in the Ethereum ecosystem that operates independently of the Ethereum Foundation. They announced Ethereum R1, which is a layer 2 for Ethereum that does not include its own token. According to the announcement, the project is entirely donation-based, does not provide funding from any company, i.e. a VC, and does not provide pre-mined coins or any tokens for governance. Therefore, it is a full-fledged startup coin, which will be an Ethereum layer 2. And from another Ethereum layer 2, we go to Ethena, which did a partnership for TON. Now, Ethena's USDE stablecoin can be used by 1 billion Telegram users. So Ethena is trying to expand its stablecoins as much as possible to have more users, essentially, and it's time to head to our favorite cryptocurrency market, where Bitcoin is sitting at $97,000, with the price struggling to break our next resistance. The main reason the price is happy these days is, first, that the US Chamber of Commerce is asking Trump to remove tariffs to prevent a recession. Bitcoin certainly wouldn't be happy, but as we've said in previous episodes, the investment community is starting to see Bitcoin as gold, and tends to buy it when things are looking tough in the formal markets. So as gold goes up a lot during this period, because things are a bit risky in the market, with all these tariffs that Mr. Trump has issued. But another thing that makes Bitcoin happy is the unemployment situation in the US, which doesn't seem to be going too well, as weekly jobless claims have risen to 241,000. Let's say that US economists had predicted that this number would be 225,000, however they got 18,000 more. It seems that the US economy is not very strong, as there are not many jobs, and this, as you understand, is something that Mr. Powell sees from the Fed. Let's say, in 5 days, the meeting on whether to cut interest rates or not, we have a 95% chance of not seeing cuts. However, next month on June 18th, we are already at 55% to see interest rate cuts. According to some analysts, this has helped the price of Bitcoin reach, at the time of writing this episode, $97,000. We will see if it goes further. That wraps up the top news for crypto. Today is May 2nd, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care everyone, and have a good day.